This isn't just another J. Cole album. This is The Fall Off, an album title that already comes with pressure. An album Cole's been talking about for years. An album that feels like it's meant to mean something, not just stream well. From the jump, The Fall Off feels intentional. Not rushed. Not reactionary. Not trendy. This sounds like an artist who took his time and understood exactly what this moment represents in his career. Calling an album The Fall Off is risky.
Know your shit is dropping. We ain't copying what you
That
selling.
phrase is usually used against artists. It's what people say when the hits slow down, when the spotlight moves on, when the culture starts looking for the next name. Cole took that phrase and owned it. Instead of running from it, he leaned into it. And that alone tells you what type of mindset he was in making this project. This isn't fear. This is awareness. You can hear it all over the album. Cole doesn't sound like someone chasing validation anymore. He sounds like a father, a veteran, a student of the game, and someone who's already accepted his place in hip-hop history. That changes how you rap. The urgency isn't about proving talent. It's about saying the right things before you step back. That energy is all over The Fall Off. Sonically, The Fall Off stays grounded. This isn't an experimental left turn. This isn't Cole trying to sound young. This isn't Cole chasing radio. The production is minimal, soul-leaning, atmospheric, built to support lyrics, not overpower them. There's space in these beats. Space for words to land. Space for silence. Space for reflection. This is grown man production. One thing that stands out immediately, Cole is talking on this album. Not rapping fast just to rap fast. Not stacking punchlines just to go viral. He's conversational. He's reflective. He's choosing clarity over complexity, and that's harder than it sounds. These are verses meant to be replayed, not skimmed. The biggest theme on The Fall Off is perspective. Cole reflects on growing older in a young man's game, watching peers fade or change, the cost of success, and what it means to step away without disappearing. There's a lot of honesty here. Some of it uncomfortable, some of it sobering, all of it intentional. Make no mistake, Cole is still competitive. But this isn't chest-puffing rap. This is quiet confidence. He doesn't name names. He doesn't need to. The message is clear. I see everything, and I still feel comfortable where I stand. That's a dangerous place for a rapper to be. One thing people will notice about The Fall Off is restraint. The features are limited, and when they appear, they don't steal the spotlight. This album isn't about moments. It's about message. Cole wants you focused on what he's saying, not who's standing next to him. One thing people will notice about The Fall Off is restraint. The features are limited, and when they appear, they don't steal the spotlight. This album isn't about moments. It's about message. Cole wants you focused on what he's saying, not who's standing next to him. This isn't Cole's loudest album. It's not his most commercial, but it might be his most honest. The Fall Off feels like an album made by someone who already knows how the story ends and still decided to write the chapter carefully. The Fall Off isn't about disappearing. It's about choosing when and how to step back. This album doesn't beg for attention. It assumes you're listening. And in today's hip-hop climate, that's powerful. One thing that really stands out on The Fall Off is the emotional weight behind the music. Not sadness, not nostalgia for clicks, but acceptance. Cole sounds like someone who understands that every era ends, and that doesn't make it a failure. There's a calm throughout this album that you don't hear from artists who are afraid of being replaced. You hear it in how he delivers lines. You hear it in how the beats don't rush him. You hear it in how nothing feels forced. This is the sound of someone who already survived the game and came back to explain it. There's an important distinction this album makes. Falling off isn't the same as fading away. Falling off is when the culture forgets you. Fading away is when you choose distance. And the fall off feels like Cole explaining that difference. He's not scared of losing relevance. He's more concerned with losing honesty. That's why the album feels grounded. That's why it doesn't chase moment. That's why it sounds patty. NT. This isn't a rapper begging the game to SD. This is a rapper reminding the game that he was here long before the no. ISE. A lot of albums hit hard for a week. And this isn't one of TH's. The fall off feels like something people will come back to years from now, because it's not tied to TR. Ends. It's tied to truth. The themes don't spire. The writing doesn't rely on slang. Cycles. The production doesn't date itself. This is the kind of album that grows as the least. Grows. If this really is one of Cole's last major statements, he chose the I tone. Not loud. No. T dramatic. No. T desperate. Just honest. And sometimes, in hip-hop, honesty hits harder than anything else.